Hello guys, in this video we'll learn about MCP protocol and build our own MCP server using Rust and consume our server with Cloudy desktop. All that in a single video, so make sure you stick around, watch till the end, and if you have any questions feel free to drop in the comments or you can join me on my Discord, link in description. First of all, let's get an overview of MCP protocol and why do we even need it. It's 2025, we have been breathing LLMs and using AI agents for a living. And in the previous videos, we have covered it, but this is something how we build those AI agents or tools, function calling, where we have LLM and we pass bunch of tools to our model. Let's say it could be a tool of connecting to the DB, exposing file system, or browsing over the internet. Now, these tools are nothing but connectors for our LLM to access data or some resource or provide a custom computation. Now, if let's say I'm writing this AI agent in Python, then these tools become very tightly coupled to the models in Python now. Because say I'm building a tool that connects to a database and maybe send a notification over Slack and maybe send out some emails as well. Now everything is written in Python. Someone who wants to build the same thing or a different thing but wants to use these tools in let's say Rust or C# or Java have to rewrite again all of these, which is basically time consuming and redundant. Now MCP solves this problem by providing a common system that any AI model or agent can use to interact with external services like as we mentioned, Slack, Gmail, custom databases or browsing. Whatever you want to build will see bunch of similar tools which are already built in different languages that we or our model doesn't have to care about, but we can simply go in and consume it. So right here, this is how our MCP structure works. So as you can see, our LLM through the MCP client connects to our MCP server that could connect to a DB, API, or some tool. Let's say, you are sending out a Slack notification or you are fetching some details from Jira or some file system. As you can see, this is more, like flexible. For example, if I'm building an AI agent in, let's say, Rust or C#, then my all logic is here and I can literally consume an MCP server which might be in, let's say, Rust or Python. So that's what MCP helps us with. So MCP, Model Context Protocol, is a new way for LLMs to connect with tools, as we can see here, database, or even some external knowledge sources. Now we can think of it as a universal connector that allows AI to pull real-time data from different sources. As we just talked about different examples like database, documents, APIs, you name it. So this is exactly how it operates. Now let's say we have an AI agent, or for example Cursor or Cloudy, that we'll see in a minute, and we send a request through the MCP interface, and there's a MCP server that just consumes it, like send a Slack notification, Gmail, or pull out some data and return the data, and our AI agent will show that. So this is exactly what we'll mimic in this video through Cloudy. Now I hope you guys understood till now that what is an MCP and why do we need it and how does it work. Let's see in practice where we build an MCP server in Rust. Back to our code editor, and let's quickly add a few dependencies that we need. So I just add these dependencies. You guys can pause and add the dependencies. RMCP as the SDK that helps us working with MCP protocol in Rust. Tokyo for async programming, Serde.json for JSON, and Serde for serialization and deserialization. So let's quickly add these dependencies. We'll start with a hello world tool. The structure will remain same. It doesn't matter if we are building a hello world tool with simple operations like counters or calculator, or even if we do more complex stuff like pulling things from a server, calling APIs, connecting to DB. So let's start with basics first. So let's say we have an hello world tool, pub struct hello world, and let's also place a counter in our hello world. Arc and mutex and I32. So derive and clone. Let's add an impl for our tool. So impl hello world, and right here we have first of all new syntax new and 0. And then let's add some tools. So the first one being, let's say, increment with result as call tool result and error from MRCP, and let's get the counter dot lock, and then just let's increment. So whatever the value is, we'll just try to increment. Okay, and call tool result success, and pass the content as you can see, the vector. So vec content text, and right here we can just pass text, which is counter dot to string. So that's our result. And similarly, on top of this, we'll add a macro tool and description. So the description would be increment counter by 1. Similarly, let's add decrement. So async fn decrement and self. So nothing fancy, I just paused and added it. Same, just like increment we have decrement, and similarly it's just like counter minus equals to 1 instead of plus equal to 1. Similarly, let's quickly add another one where we just get our value. So get value and self result call tool result or error, and right here we give some tool description as get the current counter value, and right here we'll just do is let mutable counter and self dot counter dot lock await, and okay of call tool result success, and back, and right here content text, and we can just return is counter dot to string, as simple as that. We're not modifying something here, so let's change it to unmutable. Similarly, let's add an echo tool as well. So echo and self result call tool result or error, and right here just add tool description say something, and okay call tool result success content text. Actually we have to first wrap in a vector vec and content text, and right here we can just return our response. So let's say string from, and we can say hello from your first MCP tool or MCP server, and that's all that we add in terms of our tools right here. And now let's quickly import a server handler for our hello world. Hello world. And also on the top of our hello world, we'll just add is saying tool. And right here, tool box. Similarly, scroll down all the way to our impal and toolbox. Now fn get info to get the information. So server info protocol as protocol version, so either latest or 1105. Similarly, capabilities and server capabilities builder or server capabilities builder and enable tools. So for now, just enable tools. We'll cover different other parts as well in different videos, but for now we'll stick with tools. And once we have capabilities, the next thing is server info. So server info as implementation from build environment, and then instructions. So here we can provide some instruction, maybe saying like this server provides a counter tool that can increment, decrement, and provide values. Also has echo. So once we have here everything that we want, scroll all the way to the top and let's add our server code here. Tokyo main. So pretty straightforward. We'll just do is let service is equals to hello world new serve standard IO and await inspect error. In case of any error, we'll just do is E and can just print saying E, and right here we'll just return result of unit or box and dynamic std error and service await to listening, and right here we'll just add our okay. So that's all that we need to do to spin up our first MCP protocol server. We are doing not too much stuff here. It's pretty straightforward, as you guys can see. Just spin up your server and we have our tools. That's as easy as it. As you can see, the spinning part is very small, just your own logic. Now this one we can use in Rust, we can use in Python, we can use with any other MCP client or model as well. Actually, if we scroll all the way down here, we need a string instead of str. So let's add that. So this one is sorted and the error is gone now. Our tool is ready. Now in your terminal, just do cargo build release So let's wait for the build to succeed. So as you can see, for me, the build is succeed. We have built our project and release mode. Next is move to your favorite browser and search for Cloudy Desktop. I'll drop the link in the description. And if you don't have already, just make sure to download Cloudy Desktop for your Mac OS, Windows, or Windows ARM 64, as you guys can see right here. It's pretty straightforward. Just click it, you will get your exe and just extract it and use it. Once you have Cloudy up and running on your machine, it should look something like this. Pretty straightforward setup. You just have to provide your name and some details here and there. And I'm also using the free plan, so no worries, you can use MCP with the free plan as well, with our Cloudy 3.7 Sonnet. So that's the only model you can use for free, but that should do for us for this video. Now, once you are here, you can also search anything with the AI, but we are more interested in adding our MCP server. So you should see an option of going to the settings from your top. So just click Cloudy settings. And in your Cloudy settings, you should see general and developer. So just press developer. As you guys can see here, you can edit the config for MCP. So just press edit config, which will take you to your Cloudy app directory. And from there, you can open this file, cloudy desktop config.json, in any of your text editor where you want to, edit this, maybe in Helix or in any ID. Here I have just opened in text edit, and here we can provide our MCP server config in JSON. So as you can see right now, I don't have any MCP server. And right here, we'll just add simply MCP server. So let's say MCP servers, and then right here we'll just name the server. So like hello world, and then right here we'll just do is command, and right here we'll provide the path to our target which we just built. So cargo build release would have created a build in our target, so we have to copy that here. And so it would look something like this: users slash your location to folder and location to project, or I should say, and then the project name. So let's say the project name is dummy, and then go there in release, and then from there you can copy your project name. So let's say if the project name is example, then just example. If you are on Windows, then do example.exe, but just paste that path here. And after that, right here we'll just add args and fill the args as empty for now. So that's all that you need to set up here, and then save this file. So for me, the path looks something like this: command slash users jack and desktop video example target release and example. Now let's say if you are on Windows, then just add an exe, but again this all depends on your path of your own release from your project. And then here you have to add empty arguments, and then just save this file and restart your Cloudy desktop. Now, providing if you follow the instructions correctly, when you restart your Cloudy, you should see a hammer sign popping up here, and on hover it shows 4 MCP tools available, which is echo, increment, decrement, and get value. So let's see. Okay, as you can see from server hello world, so decrement, echo, get value, and increment. Now let's use our tools. So let's say increment by 1, and we are asked for some permission here. So let's say allow for this chat. Okay, so as you can see, the success response from our tool, so it's 1. And now let's say increment by 1. So now the value should pop up as 2, as you can see right here. And let's say now if we try to do decrement by 1 or decrement the value, so we have to allow this command as well. So let's say allow, and now it should give us 1, as you can see here. Similarly, if we say something and allow, and it should return from our server that says hello from your first MCP server. So that's it. As you guys can see, now our Claude is able to get the data from our Rust server. Similarly, if we want to use this with a Python agent as well, same way, we have to use the config, and that's all we need to consume our Rust server with our Python. So basically, it's not tied now to your AI agent or the language that you build your agent in. Now you can do anything that you want to do in your tool. Everything here is by default and comes for free. So as you can see, we can use our tool from here. We can get our response. We'll make more complex MCP servers as well in the future videos. But for now, I hope you guys understood and learned something new. And now let's browse other servers on the internet that you guys can use. Now I'll drop the link to this repo in description. Awesome MCP servers. And if you scroll down, as you can see, there are tons of MCP servers that are straightforward to use. And you can use them with your applications just like how we add our own MCP server. Similarly, there are example servers from Claude as well. If you scroll, you can see file system, Postgres, SQLite, Google Drive, Git, Sentry. So let's say file system. And with this one, you can, give access to your file system just like we added our own MCP server, as simple as that. So try it out, use different MCP servers, and let me know in the comments how do you feel about this. I'll catch you guys in another video with another interesting topic. Until then,